that need to be discussed thoroughly. I'm setting up, so I was just laying on my bed and I was like, I'm gonna have to get a man one day, maybe. If I did, like, he'd probably be a monster. Just being realistic. Because that's the world we live in. Like, especially with the kind of lifestyle I want to live. Does that mean that I have to be okay with, like, being a monster too, by association? And it's like, I already have been that. Like, my dad's a monster. I'm a monster already. Like, what am I kidding about? Like, what is this about? You know, like, why am I persisting? Sometimes it's just hard. Because I don't want to be a monster. What do you do? What do you do when you have to be a monster? Like, this world definitely will put you in situations where you have to make really tough choices. For yourself or for other people you care about. And I think, honestly, our society and culture encourages people to do what they think is best for them. It's just a lot of that going on. So there's just not as much collective thinking. And then the collective thinking is just like, it seems to be the most negative things about us. Like, the collective thinking is like insecure thinking. Like, what the hell? We as people are like, really, I don't even know what has gone. Oh, I know. It's fucking, I don't want to get into that right now. I'll make a different video about that maybe one day. Because I feel like a lot of it has to do with like our religion. Like, there's a reason why I don't wear the cross anymore. Like, I used to, every day, right? Because I used to be really devout Christian, like in church every Sunday. I went to Sunday school when I was a kid. I went to Wednesday Bible studies. You know, like, I was really, like, I always loved God. I always felt really inspired by God. I liked to learn about God when I was a kid because I had a lot of questions about the world that my parents couldn't answer. And, like, I felt like there was something more than just what I could see. So, like, science also wasn't completely quenching my thirst. Like, I love science too because I liked having, like, the formula for how to recreate. But it's like, philosophy was what I was searching for, like I was hungry for as a kid. So I found that a lot in Christianity. But then I was like, wait a minute, this is literally white Jesus. This is not necessarily my guy, you know, like, he's a guy I could definitely rely on. And philosophically, there's a lot to admire there. But, like, you know, manifest destiny, that's white Jesus. You know, it's not like, you know, that's why Jesus. Why Jesus said you can kill people to get what you want. That's why Jesus. Why Jesus is like that. So you gotta know who you're going to, and like what it means to derive power from certain places. And in America, like, a lot of our power is derived from why Jesus. Like, as a country, a lot of us are here where we are right now based off of this idea of manifest destiny. The American dream is like, go out and get it no matter what. Like, that's what we do. Is we go out and get shit. As a collective people, we are like pretty gangster. Like, and I know that, you know, like, we are. Like, we just go out and get shit. If you're the kind of American that I can respect anyways, then you're out here getting shit. Like, I like to see people like starting their own businesses. Like, just start, because, like, if you're not, then you're insecure. Like, if you're not starting your own business in America, what the fuck are you doing in America? This is the place to start a business, you know? Like, this is where you do it. So if you're not doing that, it's like, you gotta be insecure about your value. You just haven't found yourself yet. And I understand that. Take your time, because once you find it, you can, like, take it all the way and America's a great place to do that. But like, find that shit, bro. Because you're wasting your time here if you're not. You're just a slave. Like, and that's the thing. Like, America, you have to. There are slaves here. There are slaves. There's never not been slaves in America. So, except before white Jesus got here. So, now that he's here, and everybody's so determined to go out and get this shit at any cost, now we have slaves. So if you don't want to be a slave, you gotta find out how to like get your own plantation. And that's what I'm trying to do. I am guided by my grandfather, and when he retired at like around 60, he bought like 18 acres of land in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, surrounded by like nothing but trees and cows and turkeys. And he literally just sat and from his 18, because his driveway was long as shit, and the front porch is like right in the center. So anybody coming in, there's only one way on the property. Anybody coming in has to come straight down this like long ass strip of asphalt. And then he's just like there, like I love that man. And I feel like, yeah, like I'm either gonna rebuy his land or I'm gonna get my own like long driveway so I can make sure that nobody's coming around approaching me, cause like headlights and shit. But anyways, I'm really proud of him as a grandfather because he was born to like sharecroppers, so his parents were like basically the first things after slaves, and he was the first son of 9 kids, and he had to get it out the fucking mud, like seriously, like, and he did. He got it out the fucking mud, and I know, like, and I was talking about like, even a good man is probably a bastard still, and it's like, what can we really do about that? I don't know, because I know my grandfather I know he had darkness in him. Like, you can't really, I think sometimes like when men get old and they're like retired and removed from their like devious ways, like they're more directly devious ways, they might be under the assumption that those things go like away. But at least for someone like me, a kid, like I've always been really perceptive. I can feel people's energy. Like I know if you have done some stuff, like I can feel that. Cause like I'm like a soul reader, so I can be around you and know how you have made other people feel. Does that make sense? So like, if you're a person who is racist, I'll know that you're racist before you even get a chance to be racist to me. Because when I come into your space, the souls that have like the negative energy that you collect, and positive energy too, because I know people are good people too, I can feel them like on you. Like there was even a time I was like talking to my dad one time, and I was geeked as fuck, and I was looking at him in his eyes, and I literally passed out. Like my dad's eyes, bro, that man is terrifying. Like he's my dad, but I've always known he was scary as shit. Like I've always known I had a fucking terrifying ass dad. Mr. Hyde is my father, and he wasn't even like, he never even allowed himself to discipline us. Like he just completely just hands off. Like it was my mom who did all the spanking and stuff like that. I think he's always known that he's had to like hold himself back from us, like, and that's always been like what it was. Like there was always a deep compartmentalization between like who I actually am and then my role in your life. Like my role in your life is like, I guess, father protector to the best I can, do that, being who I am as a person. And then like even beyond that, like there's so many things, right? Because like as a kid you don't understand things, like nothing. And then if you have a dad like my dad, if you just are around men like the men that I was around, there's just 2 lives. Like there's 2 lives. It's what it's supposed to be, and then there's what it actually is. what it's supposed to be and what it actually is. And then because like, my grandfather is my mom's dad, so I know that she had like similar situations growing up, but that I am speaking about. Because I think that their darkness is likely the same, think about it, like when you usually end up doing the Freud thing, So, it's just kind of terrifying. I just know that whatever I end up attracting is gonna be fucking monstrous. And there's nothing I can do about that. Because I'm a monster, right? Like, and then I'm not trying to be like, you and me, we're the same. But fuck, it's just, you're probably gonna be a real son of a bitch. And if not, like, even an equivalent, maybe even better, because I think of myself as being capable of surpassing my parents, right? So if I'm an evil motherfucker, I come from evil motherfuckers, I like to, expound. I don't want to, I want us to, I don't want to do wrong by my bloodline, that's, it's important, I don't know, I come from something. So, we have to pick wisely here, because it would be a damn shame if I wasted, my extra good sauce on something, on a kid that, I wasn't even proud of. Because I know that I'm making my parents proud. I don't know about you guys. I know that we don't have, the best relationships between us, me and my parents. But I know that, when it comes to my accomplishments, what I'm doing in the world, they're looking at me, even though I'm resisting them. Because I think, I'm on my, Zuko, firebender, lord shit. I have to, go through the, getting scarred on the face with the blacklisting from the government. I had to earn my shit. I'm in that phase right now. I'm fighting it. I'm creating individual identity because what would be the good of me being the next heir to the HYDE legacy if I was not an individual? If I was just a continuation of the same thing, there would be no evolution. And that's, people are always like, hey, I want evolution, but they don't understand what actually required. Yeah, sometimes I have to tell you, hey, we can't do it like this anymore. This is not a good way to do this. I see the flaws in this. Here's how we need to improve this, right? Because even with the situation with the boys over there, the Virginian, I'm hey, I was just walking my dog and I saw what you had going on over there. I'm not saying, I don't necessarily, I don't want no parts in that, but do it better. This is bad. Kids, I'm not a kid, but I'm 21. I wasn't even 21 at the time. I was 20 years old. If I can see it, people can see it. So at least have the decency to be decent, right? Let's be decent at least with what we're doing. Because people shouldn't just be able to just see these things. Go the extra mile. Stop being lazy. Because people like me are going to come around and be like, hey, I don't fuck with this. It's natural. That's evolution of society. People need to make better plans, and then the plans won't fail. That's all I'm saying.